Hey guys, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Zoe and today I'm going to be going through my January TBR. So my reading goal for this year is 100 books, meaning I have to read around 8 or 9 books a month, and I think that's doable. But the problem with the TBR is I am a mood reader through and through, so I'm really bad at sticking to my TBRs, but this month I picked one with 10 books on it, so it's very manageable. And it's mostly books that I feel like give a January, like early winter vibe, so I'm hoping I can stick to it at least mostly, and I'm excited to read all of these books, so I think I have a good chance of reading the majority of the books on this list. So let's just get into all 10 books that I want to read in January. The first book is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. I talked about this in another video. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I'm really excited about it because so many people have raved about it on Bookstagram. It's about Matt and Grace who meet at NYU when they're going to college, and they form an instant connection and fall in love. But then after college, there is some miscommunication and it turns into a hate story until 15 years they run into each other again and they're able to reconnect. This book sounds seriously so adorable. I'm really ready to get my heart broken because I do think it'll be sad at some parts, and I've heard there's a twist at the end that I'm really excited to find out about, and I think it's going to be a 5-star read. I'm really ready to get into this one. Next is A History of Wild Places by Shea Ernshaw. I actually started this last January and got a few pages in, but stopped reading it, honestly, because the first chapter is like 40 pages and I hate long chapters, but I decided to pick it up again this year. I'm actually reading it right now. I'm about 50 pages in, and it follows this man, Travis, who is looking for this woman who went missing. She's an author, and he's able to like see the past of people's lives by following where they've been or holding some object of theirs. And so he's looking for this woman and finds this place called Pastoral where people live a simpler way of life, and he goes there and disappears. So then years later there's this guy Theo who finds Travis's truck and goes looking for him, and all this weird stuff goes down. I don't really know much more, but I do know that it is fiction, magical realism, fantasy, and I'm excited to find out what else happens. It does get kind of low ratings on Goodreads, but I've heard a lot of people give it 5 stars, so I'm excited to see how it ends. Next up is a book that everybody knows, so I don't think I need to explain it, but it is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I am following along with Kendall from Bookphoria, and she's reading all of the Harry Potter books for the first time, and in January she's finally getting to the 5th book, which is where I've left off, and I'm really excited to read along with her and so many other people, and to finally continue the Harry Potter series this year because I've loved all 4 books so far, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the books go. The next book is an author from a series that I really loved. She is the author of the Darkest Minds series, and it is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. This book I've had on my shelf for years and I've never gotten around to it, not sure why, but I'm ready to now. It does involve historical fiction, time travel, so some science fiction, romance, all sorts of different stuff, and I've heard great things about it from a close friend of mine, and I'm really excited to see what happens in it. Number 5 is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I bought this last December in 2021, and so many people have read this book. I've heard that it's one that will literally change your life, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet because I wanted to really take my time to get through it and really just absorb the book. I don't really know what it's about because I want to go into it blind and get the most out of my experience, but I have really high hopes for it because of everything I've heard about it. And I'm really hoping that it is a special and memorable one for me, as it has been for so many other people, and I'm hoping to really connect with it. Next is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've talked about it before, how I'm like the only person in the world who hasn't read this book, but this year I'm going to read so much Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm ready to finally experience her writing and fall in love with it like so many people have. I have really high hopes for this book. I don't know much about it other than that Evelyn Hugo is a movie star, and it's told through a series of interviews, I believe, and it's all about all of her past relationships and how they've changed her life, and I've heard really good things about it. Obviously, it's so hyped up. I'm a little nervous that it's overhyped and that I'm not going to enjoy it that much, but I do have a good feeling about it, so I'm really excited to get into this one and find out what all the hype is about. Number 7 is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm hoping to start this series this month. This is about these magicians who hop between parallel versions of London. There's like different colored versions, and I'm not really sure what happens, but I think some chaos ensues, something happens, and they have to like save the world or something. But I've been told to read this series by so many people, and I finally got it, so I'm excited to start it right away this month and love it hopefully as much as everyone else does. Number 8 is one that I did want to read before the end of 2022, but it was another one that I wanted to take my time with, so I ran out of time, and it is Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I love both of these authors, and I really adored the first book, What If It's Us? I love Ben and Arthur. I really love their story, and I'm kind of scared to read it because I don't want it to be over, but I know it's going to be really cute, and I'm going to love it so much because What If It's Us is one of my favorite books ever, and I've read it so many times. So I'm excited to add a new favorite book to my collection, hopefully. And then the last 2 books that I have on my list are library books. Number 9 is Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. This follows a group of students at school whose favorite teacher is found dead, and they don't know who did it or what happened, but one of them goes to work on a true crime show and she tries to find out who killed him or what really happened. I'm really excited about this. I've liked the majority of the Karen M. McManus books that I've read, and I think it's going to be a fun YA thriller and it's going to be a good time. And finally, number 10 is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is the prequel to They Both Die at the End, which I read last year and I enjoyed it, so I have really high hopes for this one. I have already started it. I'm about 50 pages in, and I think it's really good so far. I actually am enjoying it better than the other books so far, but this is about back when Deathcast was first made. I'm pretty sure it all takes place in 24 hours again, but it's literally about the first night the Deathcast existed, and these 2 guys meet, and I assume it'll be pretty similar to the first book, but different characters. And I think it's going to be really fun but heartbreaking. These books are really sad, but they do teach you a really great lesson about life, to really live in the moment and make the most of the time that you have left. So I'm excited for that one. Okay, so that was my very quick and short January TBR. I'm really hoping to get to all 10 of these books, and I do have a really good feeling that I'm gonna get through them all. So we will see how I do next month when I do my wrap up. But yeah, if you have read any of these books or you want to talk about any of them, feel free to comment down below or connect with me on my Bookstagram. I'll link it below. And yeah, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love making new friends, so feel free to reach out. And yeah, wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.